Mtshela abathi Mkhwanazi akathatha izwi baba indaba lezinto mtshela iphoyisa thatha izwi baba. Epolice yeke take the country my friend.
Aba mongameli.
Asiyabonga baba.
What if 2026 becomes the year when powerful people finally sit where ordinary citizens have always sat, in court? What if the reason behind this shift is one police general that millions of South Africans suddenly trust? From Durban beaches to packed courtrooms, from murder trials to corruption cases that have dragged on for years, there is one name quietly connecting everything: General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. And that's exactly why some people are excited and others are panicking. Stay with us, because this story is bigger than headlines. Welcome to Mzansi PoliScope, the home of deep political analysis, untold connections, and stories that shape South Africa's future. If you want clear explanations without propaganda, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and most importantly, comment, because your voice matters here. Now, let's talk about why General Mkhwanazi has suddenly become the face of hope for millions, and why 2026 is being called a year of reckoning. When General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi walked along Durban Beach with Premier Ntuli, something unexpected happened. People didn't just wave, they didn't just clap, they cheered, they shouted his name. Some even said, "We trust you." That doesn't happen to police leaders in South Africa. Why? Because many citizens feel he stands firm, does not bend easily, and is willing to confront powerful networks that others avoid. For some, General Mkhwanazi represents a turning point, a signal that law enforcement may finally act without fear or favor. But here's the key question: why is his rise happening at the same time that so many major court cases are suddenly moving forward in 2026? That's where this story gets interesting. As we head into 2026, South Africa is facing an unusual concentration of high-profile cases, many involving violence, corruption, and organized crime. These cases didn't appear overnight. Some are years old, some were delayed repeatedly. So why now? Many analysts believe pressure is building, internally within the justice system and externally from the public. And in the middle of this pressure sits a police leadership style that refuses to look away. General Mkhwanazi's approach has reportedly unsettled certain networks, not because he talks loudly, but because cases are moving. Now, let's break down the key cases and explain why each one matters in this bigger battle. On January 9th, the suspects linked to the AKA and Tibbs murders, Sibongile and Malusi Ndimande, are expected in court. This case shocked the country, not just because AKA was famous, but because it showed how organized and calculated violent crime has become. For many South Africans, this case is a test. If the justice system succeeds here, it sends a message: no hit is too sophisticated to be uncovered. And people are watching closely to see whether police leadership remains firm, especially when cases involve cross-border arrests and criminal syndicates. This is the type of case that defines whether law enforcement has real teeth or not. On January 19th, the Senzo Meyiwa trial continues.
But today,
But
what does that have to do
unless
with
some of us didn't understand the evidence given by Pinky Fellingham.
Maybe.
Pinky Fellingham, when he was giving evidence, cell phone evidence,
Yes.
he used to mention that this number got in touch with this number at such and such an age, at such and such a time, and the poll which was registered is this and this poll. Is that not what was happening?
But what does that
No,
have
no,
to
just
do
wait.
with
I
this
want-
witness?
No, this one.
No. What
Mr.
does that have to do with this witness?
You don't have to argue with me.
No, the court has allowed the state to
No,
get
don't
mad
argue
on
with me.
number of
Don't
occasions.
argue with
I'm
me.
not arguing with
What
the
are you
court.
doing?
I'm not arguing.
The
with
other day
the
you
court.
pointed
No,
me like this.
No, I am saying
The
that
other
on
day you
number of
argued
occasions
with
this
me
court has
and
allowed
pointed
the
me like
state
this.
to get away with murder.
Mr. Baloi, is that not how the evidence was adduced?
Well, indeed, my lord. And we're just merely explaining the relevance of.
Yeah, fine.
This case represents something deeper than a footballer's tragic death. It represents public frustration. Many South Africans feel tired of postponements, tired of unanswered questions. And that's why leadership matters. When people see a police general willing to confront internal weaknesses, it gives hope that long-running cases like this might finally reach closure, not because of pressure, but because of persistence. On January 23rd, Julius Malema faces sentencing related to the unlawful discharge of a firearm. This case sits at the intersection of law and politics. Regardless of political affiliation, this moment asks one simple question: are laws applied equally? For police leadership, this is dangerous ground, because enforcing the law against powerful politicians often invites backlash. And yet, this is exactly why General Mkhwanazi's firm stance resonates with the public. People want to believe that no one is untouchable.
Accused 1, in respect of counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you are found guilty as charged. Accused 2, Mr. Simon, in respect of counts 4 and 6, you are found not guilty and discharged. You may be seated.
Is the court, please?
On January 26, Ace Magashule appears in the Bloemfontein High Court over the asbestos tender case. This case represents state capture fatigue. People are no longer shocked by corruption. They are shocked when nothing happens. That's why 2026 feels different. The public mood has shifted. Patience is running out. And once again, strong policing leadership becomes critical, because corruption cases often collapse when investigators hesitate.
I don't know, my lord, whether I can speak to my lawyers. The state has always been saying they are ready. It looks like we don't have rights. Because now and then, even if you meet next year, it's going to be another postponement. They said they are ready. Out in the public, it's us wasting time. And it's costly for us.
Mr. Magashule, unfortunately, we have to put the road forward, and it is not only the prosecution that may have some problems, but also defense counsel have problems in the near future, and then, more importantly, this court has problems because other cases has been allocated to it. There is absolutely nothing that I can do about it, but I take note of what you are saying.
Early February brings Vusimuzi Ket Matlala back to court. This case is not about one man, it's about criminal networks. Organized crime thrives when law enforcement is divided or compromised. That's why people link cases like this directly to who controls the direction of policing. When a general shows independence, syndicates feel pressure, and pressure leads to exposure. The Phala farm theft trial continues into 2026. This case touches the highest office in the land, and that alone makes it sensitive. The issue isn't only about stolen money, it's about transparency, accountability, and public confidence. And again, police credibility matters. Without trusted leadership, even the strongest evidence loses public trust. Dudu Zuma and former President Jacob Zuma both face ongoing legal battles. These cases remind South Africans that history doesn't disappear, it waits. And whether justice arrives late or not at all will shape how future generations view the rule of law. So here's the truth. 2026 is not just about court dates, it's about whether institutions finally stand firm. General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has become a symbol, not because he asked for it, but because people are desperate for consistency and courage. If the system holds, this year could mark a turning point. If it fails, public trust may sink even deeper. Now tell us, do you believe 2026 will be a true year of reckoning? Is General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi being supported or targeted? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Mzansi PoliScope and stay alert, because South Africa's story is still being written.
Mtshela abathi Mkhwanazi akathatha izwi baba indaba lezi zinto yomtshela iphoyisa thatha izwi baba. Epolice yeke take the country my friend.
Abamongameli